yourselves, how-tos are coming. This is the first one, is how to freeze BLOWLUG. That's right, everybody wants it, don't know how to do it. I'm here to show you. Here you go, frozen. Yeah, there you go. You can thank me later. Bye. Only joking. It is bloody freezing. There's like a 15-mile-an-hour wind. It's -2. Ah, a little bit refreshing, let's say. So there's not going to be anything about pumping in this video because it's freezing. I'm not standing out here doing this. It's just about the process of freezing BLOWLUG, and it's something I came up with a few years back. I don't know, 12 years ago or so, and it works for all BLOWLUGs, small, big, whatever, but the bigger the better, obviously. So I'm going to stick you here and you can watch, and I'm going to wander around the place. I'm going to pump some worms, stick them in the bucket, and that'll be it. So I have the pump set up, 35mm standard bait pump. The longer the better, because then you have to bend over, obviously. But if you're new to the game, the bigger one will afford you more margin of error, but you'll have to work a little bit harder because you're a beginner. Yeah, so that's the way it goes. See, look, frozen lugworm. Yeah, nice. So we'll give that guy there a lash. Let's see if we can get him on camera. We've been a bit of a devil today there. So apparently he's a little bit self-conscious and doesn't want to be on camera, but we try his mate over here, right? This is not a pumping video, I'm just doing this for the buzz. Like, if you need to know how to pump worms, I got 2 videos. I'll leave a link in the description. One's called How to Pump Lugworm and Why I Suck, and the other one's called Pumping Lugworm 101. So those 2 links will be in the video, in the description. So never fear, your lug pumping needs are right here. That's right. So we wander around, me and thee. Woo! Me and thee, and we'll find us a lugworm that will come out of his burrow for me. Not be such a pain. I swear to God, right? As soon as you stop filming, you get the worms. As soon as you turn the camera on, not a hope in hell. These are the trials and the tribulations of a tuber. Not a potato. As I was saying, as soon as the camera's not looking, you got a worm. At last. We got a small one. Does that count? Does it? No. Try this bugle here. Ah, there's 2 in the one place. Great stuff. We'll try that lad first, and then we do that one there. There you go, at last. Yeah. First shot. We'll go for another wee wander, we'll see if we can get one more for the crack. And then we'll go back and we'll start the freezing process. Which some people commented, quite a few people. You can't freeze BLOWLUG. Yes, you can, and really well, and they make fantastic bait. They're just not as big as blacks, but they're more accessible, right? And if you didn't use what you had, just bang them back in the freezer. It's just the same. They're absolutely fantastic. We got this lad here. If we get him out, that's it, and then I'll show you how many I got. I didn't get that many, I got like 30 or 40 or so, but it's enough for the video anyway. See the eyes. Ooh. Just a tip, if you can't find any lugworm on open beaches, go to estuaries and harbours and stuff, and they get trapped in there sometimes and they can't find their way out into the deeper water, where they go in the winter to spawn and recolonize other beaches. Right. So, there you go. So that's as best as I could manage for now. Normally I'd rinse them off in the sea, but that's ice, right? That white stuff. And I'm not sticking my hands in the water, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go home and just, I don't know, rinse them off there or something. Somehow let them settle. I don't know. It'd be all right anyway. The freezing part of the process is next, so we'll move on to that. All right, boy. So, back at Casa del Dopey Dog for the freezing part of the video. Let's go. Yeah. First of all, I'm going to show you what you need to do it. This is what you need to do it. Cloth, that's up to you. You need some worms, boom. You need some kind of thing to drain the worms. You need something to catch the guts or the blood or whatever, right? Then you need something to salt them. You need some newspaper, something to freeze them in, a vacuum pump of some type. Okay, I have an automated one that I normally use, but I use this one because it's more accessible to other people, and if you have one, you know how to use it. So we're good, yeah. Boom. Something to freeze them in, and I use this to extract the blood from the worms and leave the guts in. That's the way I like to do it. But most likely, most people would just like to use a pair of scissors. This is a tray I use. Boom. Stop blood going everywhere. I will show you what I'm going to do. I'm not actually going to film the gruesome bit itself because you know why. Anyway, and it's not really rocket science. You'll figure it out. We get a good one for demonstration purposes. Right. So what you do normally is you just take the scissors and you clip the head in half like that. Boom, like that. Okay? And then you just run your hand gently down from the back all the way to the front and remove the guts into your tray. That's it. Then you get the worm and you put it over there, right? So we'll get started. You won't see this bit. So now I have gutted the worm, right? There's the split in the top there. Bumski, right? You just get it and throw it in there. Boom, like that. Now that's absolutely no problem. But what I like to do is I like to leave the guts in it and just get the juices out, because that's the problem with worms, right? And also with BLOWLUG, their skin is not as thick as it would be with black lug. So that's the problem with freezing them. And also the amount of liquid in the skin itself, so you have to get rid of that. So now I'm going to pierce this once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. I'll turn it over, do the same thing on the other side, and then I will squeeze it just the same way but more gently, because I want to keep the guts intact in the worm, because that's the way I like it. But for most other people it works fine just the other way, but I like to do it this way. I get more out of it. So now I've taken the blood out. You can see it's substantially smaller than it was. In it goes over there, right? I recommend that you do like at least a minimum of 50 to 100. Other than that, you're just messing around, and just go down a few times and get as many as you can, right? Simple as that. Normally I'd be doing this with 200 worms, 150 worms kind of a thing. It takes a while, yes it does, but you've got bait for the winter, right? And you mix it up with some mussels and some fish bait, you can catch anything on it. I have caught cod, plaice, dogfish, you name it. Dabs, yeah, you've seen it. I've caught pollock, I've everything. Bass, the lot, everything eats these worms. They are not substandard. In actual fact, you can see one of my videos, I can't remember which one it is, flatfish video, they outfished fresh lug. So absolutely not an alternative to baits. They are as good or better than fresh bait. So I just want to show you this one. This would be like the prime size to do it with. That's it. Now I'm going to show you when I'm finished, so you can see that this
when I'm finished with this worm, it will be the perfect size for flatfish when you're done with it. Because now it's just too damn big. As you all know, if you've ever tried to use a big blow lug to catch flatfish or any other smaller species, they're just too big. So that's it now when it's done, and it will get smaller once I salt it as well. You can see there's some of the guts coming out because you can see the holes I put in it all the way along. So now the next process is to salt them. Now this is a continual process when you're doing the worms, right? If you have 100, you have to do it periodically. So say you do every 20, then you do this with it. So this is how it goes. You get your, this is my salt thing, and they have to be kind of generous with the salt. So you just put it in like that, loads of salt, right? That's it. Boom. Then you take it and you smooth them around a bit with your hand like that. That's it. Now that's going to purge all the juices from them. So I'm going to do like 10 or 12 more, and I'm going to put them in, and I'm going to salt them again. I'm going to mix them around. I'm going to keep doing that until I run out of worms. That's basically it for the salting part anyway. And so I've got a few more in now, so a bit more salt. That's it. Move them around a bit. That's it. And you can see what's happening underneath them there. I don't need to show you. There you go. And that's after they've been gutted or bled or whatever. So there's still loads of moisture in them. That's why you can't freeze them normally. But once you purge this from them, they freeze perfectly. Just like BLOWLUG. And so on to the last part, is packing them. If you don't have a vacuum packer, what I used to do was I'd get a piece of wood and I'd roll them up in paper, and I'd put the piece of wood on and I'd put some weights on it, and that would press more juices out of it, making them more firm when you froze them. What the vacuum packer does is when it's in the newspaper and it's in the plastic bag, it does that for you. So it's kind of, you know, two jobs in one kind of a thing. Then you just lash them in the freezer. So, but if you don't get a vacuum packer of some type, just a piece of wood with some weights on it, wrap them in paper just like you would normally, and just leave them for 10-20 minutes and then pack them. Don't leave them for too long because they'll go all soft and weird. Okay. Yeah. So at this stage they're going to feel really slimy, and that's a good thing, right? Because that means there's very little juice left in them at all. So you know how it's done. Everybody's seen how this is done. So I packed them in 10s. You can do whatever the hell you want. In fact, I'm not going to even bother counting. I'm going to fill this wrap up. That's what I'm going to do. And they'll shrink again, so if they look too big now, they won't later, trust me. And it's nice when they have the guts in them. I think it works a little bit better, maybe. Anyway, you know the way anglers are. Every little helps, huh? There we go. Then that's it now. Then you just fold them over like that. Bumski. Then you get your freezer bag. Doesn't matter what sizes, these things are huge. But they were cheap. You take it, put it inside. You can put 3 or 4 rolls in here if you wanted. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to put them in there, and then you'll see. Yeah, the newspaper is just like one sheet, both sides. That's it. You want it to absorb what's left, what juice is left in the worms anyway. So to the last part, which is the bagging. So you get your sucky pump, place it in the bag. If it's too long, place it far down, otherwise the bag will close up on you and you won't be able to get any air out of the bag. Look over there, okay? There, not over there. Pay attention. Yep. Get as much out as you can. That's it. There you go. That's it. 30 lugworm, ready for the freezer, which is right under here. So the last part of the process is how to put it in the freezer. Yeah. So how to put it in the freezer. Here we go. Oh, there we go. So wherever you are in the world, brothers and sisters, fish on. And remember, don't buy any bait if you don't have to. I'm Billy. I'll see you on the beach. Bye.